Their ultimate challenge on EA Sports.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Offense getting set, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Great effort by Derwin James on the stop.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now the former Sooner, this is Rodney Anderson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
The line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel. That's all. So I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Patriots take over. So out comes the Patriots offense as they'll get their first shot at things here. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And when Jimmy Garoppolo came out of Eastern Illinois, many people saw a strong-armed guy, well-schooled in the passing game, who needed a little bit of time to develop and reach his potential. Starting to go in that direction right now. A former linebacker in high school, he plays the game with a lot of toughness.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Minshew. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James. A sack from his safety position.
Third down.
One quarter down, 8-0 the score.
With the score, Patriots 8, Jaguars nothing.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. From the gun, Minshew to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking of it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Minshew with a give to Fournette, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
nearly a huge return. As it is, still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Thorough domination right now, and the game plan is simple, obviously, Charles. They're going for 2 after every touchdown, and it's 24-0.
Don't you just get the sense right now that they're just flexing? I mean, to be able to do whatever they want, how they want, 3 2-point conversions, and now they're up 24-0. So essentially, they gained a field goal out of it without even trying the kicker out there.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. On the slant, this is Chark. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Brings up 3rd and
3. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew, and that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
21.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It's caught inside the 25.
That's good.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And this offense is running away with this one.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
He was defended by Patrick Peterson.
To throw again on second down. Minshew. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
It's 4th down.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded just inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a fine first half from quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Returnable here for Hester. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
On the return, the Patriots take over 1st and 10.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He was good in the first half. He's been good still here so far in the 3rd quarter, Charles.
It almost feels like when you're watching, all those drills that you know that they go through, all that extra practice, is all coming together in this one, hasn't it? Everything's been sharp, everything's been accurate, and the yards continue to pile up, as do the rest of the stats.
Yeah, the yards, he's got the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions so far. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll run with a big man, Bo Jackson. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 31. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd.
On the run, it's Bo Jackson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Patriots.
First, a lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Pollard again. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Back now at Soldier Field, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will make it into the end zone. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The open man is Westbrook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
The Jaguars on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Minshew. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is fielded at the 27. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
48-yard line.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target, and it's second down.
He was covered by C.J. Henderson.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. That is caught at the 7. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
That makes the score Patriots 48.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. It almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
This will make it into the end zone. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
25-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, Not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. On 2nd and 10, Minshew. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
10 yards to go.
Here's Minshew. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Garoppolo looking to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And the Patriots are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2, they don't get it. And that one is incomplete, and now we're inside of 10 seconds. Just 9 remain.
Santos.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. There you have it, another challenge and another victory. Now remember, you can always replay challenges if you left any stars on the table.